Yeah, I don't know, man. You ever just feel like life is just catapulting towards some greater purpose?
Pervert fat cats with bloated ego. We are the only DJ crazy enough to tattoo Jackie Brown on his ass.
This is Michael Mann, and I ride with
Extended Clip.
April 26th, 2021, a tradition was formed. But people didn't know it yet. The first annual Golden Geres was the 103rd episode of Extended Clip, uploaded on that day in the spring after the lockdown. And it didn't start a tradition right away. And it took 5 years, actually, for us to gather the courage to return to the realm of the celebration of the self. The Golden Geres were a celebration of extended clip cinema to run counter to the Oscars. As I alluded to earlier, we have not revisited this award show concept in a number of years because the early era of the podcast was about having fun, you know, and goofing around with your boys. And we were all either fresh out of college or in college. Malcolm, you were in high school.
Yeah, still am.
And I think that, you know, I perceived a bit of immaturity in the conceit of the Golden Geres, and that's why I wanted to put childish things behind me. But I look back at that episode and I see so much glory, so much goodness. And I look at our podcast now and what I wanted to be, you know, a purely academic venture
True.
has fallen into the realm of fun once again. And rather than fight off this impulse, I'm going to indulge in it. And so we're bringing back everybody's favorite award show for 2025. Golden Geres. Golden Geres. Wop, wop, wop. Welcome back, everybody, to Extended Clip, episode 439, the 2025 Golden Geres, which will now once again be called the annual Golden Geres, whether or not we do them in 2026. I am one of your hosts, Eddie Averill.
Hello, I'm Malcolm Baum. I'm also co-hosting the Golden Geres.
I'm JT White here with these other two gentlemen co-hosting the Golden Geres.
Now, how are you guys feeling tonight? All the stars are here. You know, we saw them on the red carpet. JT is killing it. You know, Malcolm and I, we kind of went like, I think it was Tony Hawk at the MTV Movie Awards in the mid-2000s where he like rolled up in a taxi wearing like skate clothes, like to make a statement. That's Malcolm and I's approach. You know, we're wearing our usual podcasting uniforms of, you know, dark blue shirts and shorts.
This is kind of my rebel slacker outfit my stylist chose for me. So, but what JT's wearing, I mean, it's hard to compete.
JT's got the multicolored black, light blue, white suit going on right now, custom fitted by Giorgio Armani himself. And, you know, JT, as the noted fashion aficionado and even sartorialist of the podcast, how do you feel about this being like the one excuse for you to really, you know, dress up as far as the pod is concerned every year?
Well, like, I don't know. A lot of what you were talking about reflecting upon the first annual Golden Geres, which I thought annual meant like every 5 years. I don't know. I thought it was like a World Cup or Olympics or World Baseball Classic kind of thing. I thought that's what I thought annual meant at the time. But yeah, I don't know. I did a lot of soul searching, like taking the temperature of the culture. I think we're in a very different place than we were in 2021. And while in 2021, I think all of us were letting out a deep sigh of relief that terrible man was finally out of the White House. Unfortunately, he's here again, and I don't know. I'm just taking that very seriously. I think we have a responsibility with our platform here, and I don't know. The Golden Geres is going to be certainly fun this year, but I don't know. I thought I had a responsibility to do better not just for myself, but for the culture at large.
And so, in an effort to do better, JT has agreed to donate his Patreon salary, the back 3 months that I owe him, as well as the next 5 years, to the Szechuan Little Feather Foundation. And, I find that very brave. Sachin.
Please get it right.
Yeah. Malcolm, how are you feeling tonight?
Oh, I'm feeling great. I think what JT said is really important. How opinion, we got to fight back using the tools that we have. Like you see an opinion piece in the newspaper, criticizing the current regime, and that's how they're using their tools. So we got to use our tools. And I know we're trying to have fun tonight, but it is important that we speak about what's going on in the world. But at the same time, it is we will be having fun, and this is how we could fight back through the celebration of movies and art that that they're pulling the funding from. So
yeah, no, I think Eddie in particular has always said that cinema is like an empathy machine, and if we can use those powers and loving tools for good here tonight while having a little fun, like having this loving, like just sort of genuine human experience, I think that does a lot to show people that there's something good in the world still.
If cinema is like an empathy machine, then we're like an empathy militia, and we're going to force empathy by any means necessary using any tools that we, and the mic is our number one tool. I remember a police officer once told me, he asked me, "Hey, Malcolm, what's the most dangerous weapon on my body right now?" I was like, maybe the baton. No, but probably the gun. It's the gun, right? He said, nope. And he pulls out a pen and he clicks it. He said, "It's my pen." Because
he can write you a ticket, yeah.
Yeah, I could write you up and I could send you away for a long time, a real long time. So we got to use our pens to send away the ne'er-do-wells, the bad doers in the world.
Thank you, Malcolm. I think that all three of us can agree with that sentiment. Now, there's a lot of you listening who were not around 5 years ago and have learned better than to try and listen to 5-year-old episodes of Extended Clip. And so if you don't know what the Golden Geres are, this is an awards show about extended clip cinema. If this podcast represents a collective repertory cinema where we can all go in our minds and watch movies together, and then you kind of stumble into the diner across the street and overhear 3 guys talking about the movie afterward while they're eating a slice of cherry pie. That's what this podcast is like. So in that universe, that is the only cinema that there is, and this is our Oscars. And they are the Golden Geres because the first edition of them was so heavily dominated by Richard Gere for his performance in Dr. T and the Women that before we even could come up with any other nominations, we had to dedicate every award to him because that movie and that performance is just so powerful, as we revisited and rediscovered just last week.
Perfect timing.
So, should we just get this bitch started?
I think so.
We have some standard fare awards, right? We have like our best song, we have best performance and best movie, best picture, best film. And then the three of us also have some creative awards of our own to give. But let's start with one of the big dogs first. We're going to dive right into best performance. So each of us have a field of nominations. Malcolm, who did you nominate for best performance?
So one of my first nominations is Harvey Keitel in Holy Smoke, a real tour de force. It's going off to a bad start here. I can't remember all my praising terms for praising people, but just a real ball of energy in that movie. So I had to, when I was looking at the list, I had to choose him. And I think, did you mention this? We're picking within the last year of movies.
That is worth noting. This is, for the qualifying films are the films we've covered over roughly the last year of the podcast, starting with October's Baby Bobby Franco Takeover.
All right.
And I believe actually the first episode that qualified was the Hollow Man episode. And the last one that qualified was our recent Zodiac episode.
True. Yeah. And, Kevin Bacon did win my Purple Shirt Award, not to get ahead of myself, but I do admire the purple shirt he wears in Hollow Man. But he didn't make my performances list. Next, I got Kathleen Turner in Crimes of Passion. And, I'm kind of rewarding maybe the less subtle performances here. I'm kind of giving... maybe some of the more over-the-top acting displays they're due here. But I think that movie's there's just so much to that movie, and she really kind of anchors it with her performance. And then, I think this is kind of a sleeper, but I just think this movie kind of, one of its great functions is just the charm that Matt Dillon brings to Drugstore Cowboy. I really feel like he takes a good movie and kind of elevates it even further with his great performance. And then I got one that I think a lot of people are going to like here. I got Charles Grodin in The Heartbreak Kid, a performance that I think about pretty much every day. Anytime I try to talk to anyone, I feel like Charles Grodin in The Heartbreak Kid, and truly one-of-one performance there. So those are my acting nominations.
Wow, that is quite a list, Malcolm. Here's how we're going to change it up this year. For our individual ones, you drop the noms, and then the other two participants say who they would pick of that field.
Okay.
And give a general reaction to the field, and then you give your award. So, all four, killer. I would go Charles Grodin for sure, but I want to make a note that I think Matt Dillon might be on the Mount Rushmore of podcast acting, of extended clip acting.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know what I mean. Matt Dillon, if we have a Mount Rushmore for directors, that's very different. But our Mount Rushmore of actors, particularly of male actors, I think Matt Dillon is on there. Like between this, Something About Mary, My Bodyguard, and Wild Things.
Oh, yeah.
He's kind of like the GOAT.
Definitely. I'm just laughing at the concept of having 20 different Mount Rushmores.
A country where like every state has at least 3 different giant rock statues
it's
with guys' faces.
This is the ultimate form of ranking and expression is Mount Rushmore.
I mean, the amount that Simmons brings up Mount Rushmore,
True.
you'd think you go through his house and he just like has framed portraits of like people in stone.
There they are, Albert. Faces of stone.
JT, any standouts from Malcolm's nominations?
Yeah, I mean, while I feel like I would go with Grodin, I think the nom for Keitel is certainly worth appreciating here. Again, like I think you'll see in some of my nominations, I did privilege a lot of larger, kind of more over-the-top performances. And while, like, one, like, Keitel is just successful and very good in Holy Smoke, he's doing absolutely crazy things. And I think it takes, like, a very ballsy actor to commit and go as far as he goes in that movie.
Damn, that's another. I'm going to just be giving out hypothetical awards on the fly here, but probably the guy who shows his dick the most award, Harvey Keitel. Harvey Keitel has to be up there for non-pornographic actors. He's especially in the 90s. He was every movie he was just crawling around naked. He's just writhing and exposing himself.
He was hogging it up,
and it was a great choice. He did great work doing that. So I have to reveal my choice now. And yes, it is Charles Grodin in The Heartbreak Kid. And you could kind of tell, by the way I listed my nominations, I feel like I gave that a little bit of extra emphasis.
That's the trouble. It's exotic, but it's not honest. I mean, it's fancy, but it's not real. I mean, this is honest food. There's no lying in that beef. There's no insincerity in those potatoes. There's no deceit in the cauliflower. This is a totally honest meal. You don't know what a pleasure it is to sit down in this day and age and eat food that you can believe in.
Oh, what an original way of putting it.
I mean, just out of the field here, you know, it's hard to pass that up. That is a great performance.
That is the anchor of like the funniest movie ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's that. And between that and Clifford, another Mount Rushmore extended clip actor, Charles Grodin, but then like you sculpt in a little tiny
Clifford
Martin Short on his shoulder.
If anyone knows a rock sculptor out there, we have a lot of work for you to do. We have
Just
a lot
good
of
Photoshop artist,
Oh, true.
honestly. Yeah. So now what we're gonna do between awards is hear the nominations for best song. And the first time we did this, I think we did like original songs and pieces of score, and that's what I initially nominated. And then you guys both sent me like needle drops from movies. I was like, all right, cool. I'll change the format kinda because I like that better. So the first one, it's going to be a mix. There's like needle drops that are used, you know, previously established songs, and there are original songs and pieces of score here.
To me, music is music. You know what I mean? Score, songs, what's the difference?
Yeah.
I tried to do like songs that I think there's one where it's like a question of whether or not it was written for the movie, but I think all of mine except for one were like written for the movie.
Oh, okay. So Malcolm, you just disregarded the
But I mean, it's
instructions,
best
but
song.
you made it. You did
sent
it in a
us
good way.
best song. It's
Yeah.
not
And yeah, it just
original
says
song.
best song.
And
so.
you did change the game. Like
I changed.
you
I'm a
changed the
game changer,
yeah.
and I just gave a great explanation.
All right. Well,
too.
we're not going to preamble every song like this. I think that's the one time that we explain the rules of what best song means.
Yeah.
So the first one we're going to hear is one of Malcolm's nominations from the movie Greenberg, The Chauffeur by Duran Duran. All right. Moving on now. Let's do JT's best performance.
Yes, the nominees I have for best performance. We'll start with a familiar face, Charles Grodin in The Heartbreak Kid. Needs no further explanation. Next on my docket, I have Sissy Spacek in Carrie. Again, I alluded to really enjoying these larger, over-the-top performances. And, like, I guess, like, Spacek throughout most of the movie is just kind of being bullied and is kind of, like, inward. But, like, that, like, I don't know. I feel like that really makes when she, like, goes psycho mode at the end, like, so much more effective and awesome. My next nominee is John Huston in The Other Side of the Wind. Very rare that you get a filmmaker that can also deliver a performance of this caliber. I mean, I guess it's fitting that it's in an Orson Welles movie because Welles is, I would say, another man that could do that intense of a performance while also, I know, being a very skilled director. Another nomination I have is Richard Farnsworth in The Straight Story. This, I think, is a little bit more subdued of a performance, but it's just like so intense and affecting and like holds together like such a gentle movie. I mean, not to say obviously Lynch crafts such a powerful story here, but it's so much plainer and more stripped down than other Lynch stories. I think I don't know. You don't have the movie without Farnsworth. And my last nominee is Barbra Streisand in What's Up, Doc. Truly like a mix of like my own disturbing sexual pathology in this choice where she is the perfect, like, again, just Bugs Bunny in a dress and committing to that very well. And for whatever reason, that's appealing. But I don't know. I think doing like comic performances are really hard, and I don't think like it generally gets enough credit for an actor to be able to do something like this, especially What's Up, Doc, that's so like cartoony and elastic. Those are my nominees.
Wow. Well, the one that stands out to me that was a surprise was John Huston in The Other Side of the Wind, but he is so good, man. And then I think about the John Huston performances that really stick out to me, and he has given some all-time performances. I mean, Chinatown, obviously, you know, like he is on that level. I think he can join the ranks of Wells and Chaplin. He's just not as good of a director as those guys. Like that's the only thing holding him back, really. But yeah, that you know, because Grodin was just awarded, I might hand it to Huston.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, when I saw JT's nominations, I was dazzled by the picks. I was really into them. And with Huston, I think he's great, but I did see this one movie once called White Hunter, Black Heart, and using the platform responsibly, I'm going to have to forgo Huston because of all the elephants he shot in Africa. Yeah. But I'm going to have to go with a classic. I got to go with Carrie here. You know, it's been one of my favorite movies since forever, and her performance, you know, it completely is so key to the movie. You know, if the performance is bad, that movie's bad. All time great, you know, wide eye staring, you know, that's some great stuff there. So I got to go with Spacek.
JT?
The winner of my best performance selection is Richard Farnsworth.
Wow. So great.
Thanks to you boys, I'm going to get this rig back on the road. I've drove it all the way across Iowa, and I'm hoping it holds on until I get to Wisconsin. My brother lives there. I haven't seen him in 10 years. There's no one knows your life better than a brother that's near your age. He knows who you are and what you are better than anyone on earth. My brother and I said some unforgivable things the last time we met, but I'm trying to put that behind me. And this trip is a hard swallow for my pride. I just hope I'm not too late. Brother's a brother.
Deserved. It's a really moving performance. And you know, it is good because, you know, like you said with these acting performances, award shows, we like the bold and the brash, but Farnsworth, he's bringing us back down to earth here. I appreciate that. And hanging out with fellow nominee Sissy Spacek. Oh yeah, true. It's a twofer. Now we're going to go out with a duly nominated song. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Me and JT both nominated the song Gran Torino by Clint Eastwood and Jamie Cullen from the closing credits of Gran Torino.
Just wondering, gentle now as the tender breeze blows, whispers through my Gran Torino, whistling another tired song. Engine hums and bitter dreams grow, heart locked in a Gran Torino. It beats a lonely rhythm all night long. It beats a lonely rhythm all night long. It beats a lonely rhythm.
So good. So beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. So beautiful. Now, for my best acting nominations. Another dual nomination, Barbra Streisand in What's Up, Doc. As JT said, you know, Bugs Bunny in a dress somehow works for me. No, I just think that
this was a non-sexual choice. You wanted to,
I want to make it clear that this is a non-sexual choice. No, I think her embodiment of a cartoonish version of the screwball woman is just like so out of this world and so antithetical to what acting so often was in the new Hollywood era. And Barbra Streisand being just like a pop star is what really allows her to go so big and kind of old school with it. You know, like she's not the subdued method actor of the early 70s that you see in so many other movies. She's hamming it up in this movie, and it's fantastic. Speaking of hamming it up, Cary Grant in The Awful Truth, one of the great screwball performances of all time. When he's playing the piano and singing with the dog, that's so fun, and him against the door jam, and just so many great moments of just perfect Cary Grant ridiculousness. And also, how about a bit of perfect sleaziness? Tom Atkins in Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. One of the funniest performances of all time. If you're on that wavelength of laughing at and with exploitation movies, where you're not like diminishing them, but you're along with the ride for all the ridiculous shit that happens in them, Tom Atkins's charisma carries you through all of the quote unquote romantic scenes of Halloween 3 with a hilarious level of bumbling lack of gracelessness, if you will. And it's just so sleazy and perfect. And when he goes into action hero mode, he's so like everyman-ish. It's just awesome. Speaking of perfect sleaze, Eric Roberts in Star 80. We just did an episode on that one, so you can go back and listen to that. Just a real slime ball of a performance. We also have Judy Garland in The Clock. Man, those eyes are just, black pools. And the way that Minnelli shoots her face in close-up is just so gorgeous and so deep. He just shoots so deep into her soul through her eyes in a way that can only exist in the gigantic close-ups of classic Hollywood movie stars. And The Clock is just such a great example of that phenomenon, with Minnelli's true love behind the camera for Garland, setting her up to just exist as a star. My last one is Adam Sandler in Punch Drunk Love, because that's just what life's like.
That's how you act.
Yeah.
That's a male role model right there.
What do you guys think?
Well, you had like 8,
I went more.
You had 8 nominations.
I
So
did 6.
I got my pen and paper and I'm doing the math to figure out which one. No, but I'm getting swept up in the old Hollywood charm. I got to pick Cary Grant because he's just really great in that movie. And it being an award show, I see Jack Nicholson in the front row. I see Quentin Tarantino. I'm trying to think of all the stars that are here.
Jennifer Lawrence.
I see Chris Pratt.
Camille Paglia. I see all the great authors of our time here as well. But Joyce Carol Oates is here.
Yeah, we got a lot of. It's a packed house for this award show. So I'm gonna go Cary Grant.
Wow, JT, what about you?
I feel like kind of a dark horse pick in this. I'm going Tom Atkins.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Eddie coined phrase Tom Atkins ownage so much. Anytime he pops up, I'm thinking about how much he owns, and this is like, I don't know, probably is this the biggest role he ever had?
There are films that feature him in a role like this, like Night of the Creeps. He becomes the lead of Night of the Creeps like halfway through. This is probably the biggest like Tom Atkins star vehicle though. Yeah, and just like you got to give it to him for the star role. He kills it, and it's so fun to watch. Well, while Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is, on an objective level, the highest quotient of Tom Atkins ownage to ever exist, and him asking how old the girl is when he's in bed with her, and the way that he's letting the 6-pack hang all daintily from his hand while he's on the phone with his wife while the girl's in the car, like, just so much good stuff there. I'm giving it to Judy Garland, and I'm giving it to Judy Garland because I can't even fucking explain why. Like, that performance moved me so deeply. That performance and the one in A Star Is Born both moved me so deeply to where I think she is the greatest star that the classic Hollywood system ever produced. Her and Cary Grant are probably my two favorites. Jimmy Stewart's up there, of course, and John Wayne is up there, of course, and whoever else you want to put. But well, not whoever else.
So
I'm
just,
making the rules here.
So just whoever, whatever.
It's them. No, it's them. It's James Mason and it's Robert Mitchum, basically.
Oh.
But and a couple other females, females, if you will. Some fifis. Katharine Hepburn.
Some female actors.
Yeah, definitely throw Katharine Hepburn in there. But regardless, I think Judy Garland might be the GOAT because in my cynical, detached, former quasi-academic and now vibes-based scholarship of cinema, even I am moved beyond analysis with Judy Garland, where I don't understand it. And A Star is Born, there's the metatextual stuff to very easily define it. The Clock, I mean, beyond the way that her and Minnelli are, falling in love still and were in Meet Me in St. Louis, like, there's nothing really I can say to define. I tried on the episode we did with Swen, like, why her performance is so great, but it moves me so deeply that I feel like I'm just some schlub back in the day going to the pictures who doesn't know all of this film studies jargon and isn't a critic and is just moved by movies.
No, I thought you were lost. I didn't know where to look.
Quick, what's your name?
Mayberry. Joe.
Mayberry.
Joe, I didn't know where to find you. I didn't think I'd ever find you again.
It took you to another place, and that's what the great performances do.
That never happens with movies.
Yeah.
Like, I never have that feeling where it's just like an old school spectacle, like when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the Terminator.
You're the Terminator. You're going into these movies to destroy them.
Anyway, now we are going to hear one of my nominations for Best Song, The Garbage Can Ballet by Harry Nilsson from Skidoo.
That's a good choice.
Living in a garbage can be a lot of fun. It has its ups, and downs. Old paper cups and coffee grounds.
You hear what I hear? I hear
Be a
nothing.
lot of fun, especially if you meet the perfect onion. Oh, the great garbage can is just full of good stuff. All the discarded refuse of man.
Nothing.
Like the half-used banana, whose girlfriend is Anna, who shout, let us out of this can.
Thank you, Mr. Nilsson. That was delightfully cheeky. Malcolm, do you want to give us your first special custom award? And for these ones, I think you'll just list them off and end with the winner, maybe. Or just list them off and then say the winner.
Okay.
And we can react after. We don't have to do the in-between reactions. I think that's better for, like, the shared awards. Like
Okay, yeah. There's no commentary on this. Well, you guys could comment afterwards, but I choose the winners, and there's only one winner. First of all, I'm honored to kick off the special segment,
of course.
Segment of the Golden Geres. And to do that, my first award is, maybe it's aspirational. It's the finest bachelor pad. Who's got the sickest place? And
oh, Malcolm.
Well, were we supposed to do like serious awards or?
You'll see.
Okay. Oh, do you have a? Dan, we might all have.
We might all have Sickest Pad as one of our custom deals. Yes, I do. I do also have Sickest Pad as one of my awards. But go on with yours.
Well, dang, we really should have done. I guess we should have.
No, I like this.
Okay.
That shows the group think, but in a good way.
Well, let's see if we have.
I know I and Eddie sent the categories we were doing to the group chat.
Did that happen? I forgot. I'm sorry.
It did, and
okay.
yesterday when Malcolm and I were hanging out, he kind of like asked me to go over the instructions like 3 more times.
This is very hard for me to conceptualize the Golden Geres. For some reason, it took all of my mental power to do this.
It's been so long, man. Yeah. I get it.
I was like, that was the first time I've been annoyed at you ever. Maybe Malcolm was like, we were in traffic, like after running an errand, like we were like just like fucking baking in the sun, and you're just like, All right, no, can you explain it to me again? Like, I don't like how many awards are there?
Is that really the first time? Okay, that's a pretty good track
Other than
record.
being late, probably, but that's just like I got used to MT.
Yeah, MT. Wow. Okay. So sickest places. I got Anthony Perkins' motel room in Crimes of Passion. The best part of a place is all the things you have in it, right? And he's got all the sickest sex toys, murder sex toys. What more could a bachelor want? Then I got, this is maybe more of a standard edition choice. We got the classic bachelor pad. We got Harold and Kumar. And we got all the sickest posters from the early 2000s, all your favorite. And then this one really stood out to me and is our winner here. I got Richard Widmark in Pickup on South Street.
Oh, Winaki, just two things. After you give my place the broom, leave it the way you found it, huh? And when you got enough beer, lower my icebox bag and a drink.
With the coastal kind of shack he's got there. He's got
right on the fucking Hudson River.
Right on the Hudson River. He's got pulley systems that he's maneuvering all his, he keeps his beer cold in the ice cold river. And, it's in addition to being a house, it's kind of a contraption of sort, something that he's always messing with. And he's coming home, he's finding people in his house. There's just a lot going on there. And yeah, it stood out to me. So Richard Widmark, come up and accept your prize.
Now, I will say that I also had Coolest Pad as one of my custom awards, my special ones. Only one overlapping nomination.
Okay, I was wondering.
And it was Richard Widmark. I'll get to the rest later, but Richard Widmark, 2 nominations for his Riverside shack where he has a pulley system to keep beers in the river, which is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a movie.
When I was thinking of the custom awards, I think that was the first thing. I was like, Richard Widmark's house and Pick Up on South Street.
I think I also built this award out of like, how do I give an award to Richard Widmark using a pulley system to keep his beers in the river? Because that's the coolest thing ever.
Hopefully, I'm nervous that we're going to share other.
That would be great. I was actually kind of like that
because I feel like I don't know. I feel like that's possible. You'll have to wait and listen.
Movies that we've all discussed together, so there's things that we remember about them together, like the things that we've talked about that we remember. Sometimes we remember the discussion more than the movie. Rarely, but it happens. Anyway, so we are now going to hear another one of our best song nominations, another one of Malcolm's. This one is a little tune called Someday by Nickelback from the soundtrack of Torque. Oh boy. JT, what is your first custom special award?
Well, for the Golden Geres, I guess fitting the first custom award that I'll give out is the Son of Gere award, which like that, I don't know. I think you might have some ideas about what this could entail and what would make someone eligible for the Son of Gere award. It's an award for someone who exemplifies the spirit of Richard Tiffany Gere. Swagger, sexual prowess, a calm presence, an indelible aura. Is the award only for men? No, you could be a pretty woman and still win. Is it just for American gigolos? Oh, Canada still counts too. But I could tell you this prophecy, no Mothman will be winning this award. Both those are those are all the internal affairs. All that matters is the performance leaves you breathless. And so now,
oh god, I'm so glad that that was the first time one of you has done more work than me on the podcast, because that was beautiful. That was well worth it.
That was amazing.
Yes, the nominees. We have Jude Law as Dickie Greenleaf in The Talented Mr. Ripley. We have Martin Sheen as Kit Carruthers in Badlands. Rock Hudson as Roger Willoughby in Man's Favorite Sport. And we have our winner, Kathleen Turner as China Blue in Crimes of Passion.
I'm healthy as a horse. I'm fit as a fiddle and ready for cock.
Horse and metaphors don't mix. Who are you?
I'm Cinderella, Cleopatra, Goldie Hawn, Eva Braun. I'm Little Miss Muffet. I'm Pocahontas. I'm whoever you want me to be, Reverend.
But what are you doing here?
Satisfying.
All right, that's an oddball choice, but you know what? I could see it in the Dr. T-esque aspects. You know, I think they both know their way around some organs that the common folks don't. I'll also, you nominating Martin Sheen from Badlands is very funny, since it's like the Malick film before Richard Gere and Days of Heaven. So it's kind of like the father of Gere.
Yeah, father of Gere in a way. Yeah, no, that was another thing I was trying to do the calculus there of like, well, like with Son of Gere, does that mean these performances have come after Richard Gere performances? No. It's just it's the spirit of the man himself.
And now we are going to hear a song from a movie that was nominated for Best Performance about 15 minutes ago. One of JT's Best Song nominations. The Halloween TV commercial by Tommy Lee Wallace and Alan Hayworth in Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
8 more days to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 8 more days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock. 8 more days to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 8 more days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
Yes, kids, you too can own one of the big Halloween 3. That's right, 3 horrific masks to choose from. They're fun, they're frightening, and they glow in the dark.
And we're back on the Golden Geres. Now, I am going to give my first custom award. And since, you know, we already spoiled this one a little bit, I'll go with the Coolest Pad award. That's what I called it, Coolest Pad.
For some reason, I have like a fear that like I saw your awards in the chat and like just
And you
subconsciously
put it
stored them and
out of sight, out of mind,
and like
kinda?
and then they've somehow manifested in my choice. But
Oh,
we'll see.
God,
We'll
that
see.
would be
I'm
really
sorry.
funny. So the Coolest Pad nominations are Frankie Avalon's high-tech apartment in Skidoo.
Oh, yeah.
If you remember that, where he is courting young and older women.
Skidoo could have won every award.
Skidoo should win every award forever. Richard Widmark's shack, keeping beers in the river in Pickup on South Street. Javier Bardem's wheelchair-accessible and Hooper-friendly apartment in Live Flesh. Greenberg's brother's house in Greenberg. And Vigo and Lea Seydoux' ruins fitted with those weird pod beds and all the surgery equipment in Crimes of the Future. And the winner, the childhood home that works as a vehicle for poetry, a portal of family memory and national history in Andrei Tarkovsky's Mirror.
А Кланька где? А? Кланька? Кланька!
That is the coolest pad, in my opinion.
It's definitely, it leaves an impact on you, much
Yeah.
like it leaves an impact on the main character.
Mhm.
So I think that's an appropriate choice.
Most aspirational though is Greenberg's brother's house. That's
Yeah.
It's just like in the hills, you know, like got a cool stereo. That's all. You
That
need.
was like my next choice for my list. You know, I just kept it.
I mean,
3
you nominated
nominations.
that Duran Duran song only because it was playing in Greenberg's brother's cool stereo.
Well, I just love that scene, you
Yeah,
know, too,
yeah.
where he's talking to the young people and forces that song on.
Speaking of songs, here's one of my nominations for best song, written by Mike White and Jack Black for the School of Rock, Legend of the Rent.
And then Hawaii Five-0. You ever see that show? Okay, well, there's a drum solo in it. They go, you're not hardcore unless you live hardcore. And then that's where I want the backup singers to be like, well, you're not hardcore. No, you're not hardcore unless you live hardcore. Unless you live hardcore. But the legend of the Rent was way hardcore. Boom! Big old explosion. Some like confetti comes down. Anyway, that's all I got so far. It's a work in progress.
I liked it, Mr. Schneebly. I thought it was really catchy.
Wow, that was, in fact, way hardcore. Malcolm, your next custom award.
Like, this is like lifestyles of the rich and famous, my awards categories. And for next, I'm going sickest whip, sickest car. Now, did you choose this? Is one of your categories? No. Okay, good. That's all that's on my mind right now. It's like that's going to happen for some reason.
Although best car is a good idea. I should have done that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, who's got the sickest ride now? You know, we did a movie like Torque, right? You're like, well, we got 50 hot rods all in one movie. So, you know, so you think it'd be one of those, but no, this award's going to show you that, you know, it's not all that glimmers is not gold. You know, there's some things in life that are worth more. For my first nomination, we got the lawnmower in The Straight Story. And this thing's got a better engine than my car, I have to say. Like this really holds up over many miles of travel, and I'm just really impressed by that. And then we got all the trains in LaRue. You know, that's and especially the shots where it's just the wheel, and you kind of think about the passage of time through the wheel.
Beautiful.
But for our winner, we have the moped in Man's Favorite Sport, which is ridden by a real live bear.
So good.
And, you know, is a nice piece of equipment itself. But, I mean, if that's not one of the moments I think about the most in the past year, is that scene. It's, that sticks with you.
Hi there. Have you a motorcycle just went up the road?
Yes, I did.
Did it take you long to teach the bear how to ride it?
It just took a minute.
Well, fell off right around the turn.
Thank you very much.
That's all right.
It's a cute little bike. It's a little like a 50cc trail bike / moped kind of thing. And that stunt work, that bear just kind of appearing on it, is just beautiful. It's just the stuff of legends. I see it in my dreams.
That's what I want. I've been going to sleep every night hoping I see that. And that I'm Rock Hudson in that movie.
Here's another song that actually could have been in the, if we did a 2024 Golden Geres, it would have been able to be nominated for another movie that it's featured in. But this particular version of it, technically remixed or re-edited by John Bryan, He Needs Me by Shelley Duvall in Punch Drunk Love.
Or maybe it's because he needs me, 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 he needs me. Da 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 dum da 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 da.
All right, and we are back on the second Golden Geres. JT, what is your second custom award?
Well, initially, I was listening back to the first Golden Geres, which none of you should do. No one in the audience should do that. That's we've moved past that. And there are a lot of profane things that I think the first, I was shocked and appalled at the first award that I had presented back then when I was a child 4 years ago, the award for biggest penis. And frankly, that's disgusting. We need to, like, repulsive. Ugh.
Yeah.
And so this, again, taking it in this new direction, I'm presenting the award for best politics. And we have some movies here. These movies have a lot of politics in them. There are like a lot of political things going on in these movies, some ideas. And so, yeah, I'll read you the nominations and then the winner of these films, of these selection of films. Our first nominee is Honora. Kind of goes without speaking there. I think a lot of people have talked about the politics of Honora.
Yeah.
My favorite part.
Pierrot Le Fou. There's like socialism or some bullshit in there. Next, I Do Not Care If We Go Down in History as Barbarians. From a very recent episode, we had a pretty political discussion on that film.
Now, you're just nominating the politics of the play within the movie, right?
Yes, exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And fortunately, the politics of the play within the movie did not win. And our next nominee, Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Yes.
Classic, just like pre-Obama era. Liberals are on the rise here. But wait a minute. The winner seems wrong.
Oh, no.
But the winner is Dirty Harry Callahan from Dirty Harry.
I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I've kind of lost track myself. But Ian, this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and would blow your head clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
It's especially surprising to me because everything else in this category is a movie, but this is one man and his singular politics. And I'm trying to remember this film. I don't really know exactly the beliefs that Dirty Harry espouses, but yeah, I don't know. This is probably the biggest shock of the Golden Geres so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you implying that there might have been fraud at the polls?
I don't know. Maybe we got this confused with. I know the Oscars and we use like that same like special service where it's just one fucking guy in a box like picking all the letters or whatnot. And I think
it is a weird thing if you register with LA County to do a movie-based awards show. It's like this one dude with a box, like JT said, and he just like comes over.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's weird. So they might have gotten it.
This
swapped.
is probably an old envelope from when Dirty Harry came out. I'm seeing there's a little bit of dust on it right now, so I think that maybe there's some confusion
there.
there.
Kind of a mix up, like the awards of the past are getting mixed in with the. That's an interesting. I don't know.
This is just
awards
purely speculation. Speculation.
Malcolm, between me and you, and I'm covering my mouth here so JT doesn't see it on the Zoom camera. I don't think that was dust on the envelope. I think JT's smoking dust.
Well, if he was, Dirty Harry would give him a good kick in the pants, tell him to stop. You know, one thing I remember about that is he throws his cop badge into the river, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like an ACAB tale. I think that's
I think that's probably it. That's probably it.
Well, and also, it's got me imagining. Imagine if Dirty Harry came up to accept an award at an award show. Oh man, he would go Ricky Gervais on their bitch asses for sure. Everyone would be exposed.
It's very true. And now let's hear another one of Malcolm's nominations, the final one of Malcolm's nominations. I think we may have sped through the songs a little bit, and JT and I doubled up at one point too, so that's okay. Journey Through the Past by Neil Young from Inherent Vice.
Now I'm going back to Canada on a journey through the past, and I won't be back till February comes.
Oh, Malcolm, will your restless heart come back to mine and give the third award of the night? Of custom variety from you.
Wait, aren't you doing your custom
You're
award?
skipping yourself, man. You're skipping yourself there, aren't you?
I'm just exhibiting some Neil Young-esque selflessness.
You just got into your emotions, man. You just wanted to journey through the past with me real quick.
It's so good. Such a good song. It makes me so sad. I like that they use that version too, because I'm used to the version where it's just him on the piano from Time Fades Away is the name of that. Man, that version with the piano is fantastic. But then Inherent Vice switching it up a little, doing more of like a Harvest-esque version, because also the song Harvest is in that movie. It's just great. Just great.
I knew this pick would get Eddie a little emotional. I wanted him to bring that sentimentality that award shows kind of got to bring, you know.
All right. Oh, Neil Young, you're so good. I'm jealous. There's people seeing Neil Young on tour right now. Oh man, I would kill for that, but I ain't got no money.
Neil Young, if you're listening, donate us some tickets. You know?
Neil Young, you know that song "Welfare Mothers" that you wrote? How about "Welfare Podcasters"? I think that song was
It's
ironic.
not just mothers. Is all I'll tell you.
I think that, speaking of good politics, I think that song might have been ironic. I don't know.
Well, he's saying nothing but good things about them in the song.
It's true. That's true. My next custom award for the night, you know, JT was talking about last time, and you know, the dirtiness of last time and how he gave an award for best bleep, you know, our biggest, you know, pant faucet.
Pant faucet. My.
And I wanted to move on from that fully, but, you know, I recently rewatched a movie that means a lot to me, Magnolia. And there's a phrase that's repeated through that movie. William H. Macy says it. Philip Baker Hall says it. Actually, Ricky Jay says it to Philip Baker Hall, maybe? Or Philip Baker Hall says it. I don't know. Looks like I got to rewatch Magnolia again for the 50th time. We may be through with the past, but the past ain't through with us. And so my next custom award is Best Pervert.
Oh.
And the nominations are Philip Seymour Hoffman in Punch Drunk Love, who runs a business that, in his eyes, punishes other perverts, but really he's the biggest pervert of them all, running this sleazy phone sex operation out of his mattress store and putting scare tactics into lonely masturbators. We also have Kevin Bacon as the Hollow Man. Now, JT's award for best politics kind of brings the question to mind of like, what does best pervert mean? You know, it might just mean the most perverted. It might not mean my favorite pervert necessarily.
In my mind, I was thinking most perverted acts committed would make you the best pervert.
It's not, I just want to stress that like best pervert
Successfully.
does not mean favorite pervert. It's objective versus subjective, you know?
Yeah.
And this award is for the best pervert. So yes, I do not endorse the acts of the Hollow Man, although he does rock a great purple shirt.
Yeah.
And he is a great pervert. Another one is Fernando Rey in That Obscure Object of Desire, who his horniness really is his unbecoming, and it's really the entire story it's like a classic dirty old man tale, and so he is a prime nominee. We also have a Best Pad nomination that I scrapped that would have been another dual nomination, because you nominated Anthony Perkins' Goon Cave and Crimes of Passion.
Yeah.
I'm just giving him a nomination for Best Pervert.
He definitely deserves a nomination.
Absolutely. I mean, but it's mainly because of that analog Goon Cave that he has with all those pictures plastered up on the wall
Shrine.
and everything.
Back in my days, we called that a shrine.
I'm also going to nominate the entire male ensemble of MASH for their antics against Hot Lips. I think those are very dirty, perverted antics, and I don't approve of them. But they are some Class A perverts and dirtbags. But the winner is Sal Mineo in Who Killed Teddy Bear.
Hello.
Oh, my love. I want to talk to you. I want to be with you.
Look, mister, I don't know how you got my telephone number or what you think can possibly happen by your calling me.
I'm a man, and I will make you feel like a real woman.
You're sick. You know that? You're really sick. Look, why don't you just hang up and leave me alone?
I know you so well. I know every inch of you so well. I know every area.
Now look here, you shut up.
I mean, come on, you got to give it to the guy. He's seen some fucked up shit, and he just wants to express it in some way. And so he tries. He goes to the seedy Times Square sex shops, and even that's not enough. So he turns to violent crime. You know, like if that's not the best pervert of the year, I don't know who is.
Yeah, I love the spectrum across the nominations. We got Fernando Rey, who he kind of spends the movie kind of not getting what he wants, and then we got Hollow Man, you know, with his invisible powers, leaves him a little bit, you know, too powerful there. Yeah. So, but Salmoneo is a great choice, and you think of it like the history of him, like being in like Rebel Without a Cause and that movie. Yeah. He's like, what do these Hollywood casting people? What do they think of me, man? I'm just a normal guy.
I'm just an average guy. That should have been a song in this movie, Average Guy by Lou Reed, about Salmoneo and who killed Teddy Bear. Anyway, speaking of songs, we're going to hear another one here from JT's list of nominations from Bunny Lake is Missing, which was referenced in our Teddy Bear episode, Just Out of Reach by the Zombies.
Funny, you should be one to make me feel sad. Just out of reach.
Ooh, I love that old school British invasion sound, don't you, ladies and gentlemen? Our next and final round of custom awards is now beginning. Malcolm?
Yes.
What is your last custom Malcolm special award?
Well, I just wanted to start that this was kind of inspired. I was at the mall, right? And I was kind of shopping. I got some Life is Good t-shirts. I got some...
You go to the Life is Good store?
Went to the Life is Good store. Got stocked up on that shit.
Did you get Auntie Anne's pretzels while you were there?
Yes. Afterwards.
Okay.
After my shopping spree. I like to have a nice shopping spree every once in a while. So I went to the mall, and I'm thinking...
That's why you got to donate to the Patreon, ladies and gentlemen. Malcolm needs some more Life is Good shirts.
I'm stocking up on the Life is Good. I'm... Big Dog. I'm going to the Big Dog Outlet.
Old guys rule.
Well, that's and what was
You're
the third
youngster of the podcast? That's actually so. I don't know.
When I mean, my brain just got scrambled right there because you revealed the third shop I went to. I went to Old Guys Rule, and that's the category that I have for the special awards because I was in a rush. I was trying to think of the nominations, and I looked in my shopping bag. And it was filled to the brim with Old Guys Rule, you know. And so, who are some old guys that rule that were featured in movies that we covered in the past year? Now, this movie's showing up a lot in the nominations. Got to give it to Jackie Gleason in Skidoo. You know, kind of you know, that whole movie, you know, kind of has a Old Guys Rule kind of bent to it with a old Otto at the helm there. And then we got and the aforementioned Fernando Rey in The Obscure Object of Desire.
I think putting him as like the best old guy versus the best pervert kind of shows the difference between how Malcolm and I see the world.
That's just an old guy. He's just a normal guy. That's just a normal guy.
That just happens when you're old.
Yeah. Oh, so he wanted to have sex with a woman. That makes you a pervert. To me, that's like the most normal thing in the world. So, I don't know. But like we do want to get political, but not too political. But for the winner, I got to go with Nicholas Ray himself. And We Can't Go Home Again.
Amazing pick.
Amazing guy.
Tell me something that you have learned that will help me pass on to other people something that will help them, guide them in their lives. And he left every single one of them dissatisfied. And he walked and walked and walked until he got to the Sphinx in Egypt, and he looked up high and said, "Hey, Sphinx!"
Seeing an old man kicking it with the youngsters, making a new style film. This movie really stuck with me. I really liked it a lot, and Nicholas Ray is amazing in it. And it proved to me that what's on my T-shirt is true. Old guys do really rule.
Hell yeah. I love that. Malcolm, oh wait, have we heard all your nominations? Yeah, we have. I think we only have one more song nomination. Yeah. Before we throw it to JT, let's get his final song nomination. Fruit and Icebergs by Blue Cheer in The Other Side of the World. Psychedelic sound. Wait, JJ, is that the song from like the sex scene when they're in the club? Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, that's the craziest fucking song. Yeah.
That's the one that has that I couldn't really find because the Zombies song was written for Bunny Lake is Missing. And I don't know about this. This is like
No, that one wasn't because I've heard that a riff from it in a loop before. So this was like an obscure but like cult record, I would say. JT, your third and final custom award here at the Golden Geres 2025.
My final award is for Best Guest.
Wow.
And you might be thinking, like, how is there a guest in a movie? Isn't you're just an actor? Well, it's not like a guest appearance, anything like that on a film. It's a guest on our podcast. And we've had a lot of them. We've had a lot of great people come on. Eddie has started doing some really amazing interviews. I don't know. There are a lot of new faces on the podcast, but I will read you the nominees and then list off our winner. The first nominee is the Sleazoids podcast, Josh Lewis and Jamie Miller on episode 381 on Torque. We have Hessa Denny on episode 357 on LaRue. We have Robert Franco on episode 345 on Salem's Lot. And, oh my God, our winner is JT White on episode 417 on Fever Pitch. This is coming out of nowhere. I mean, I guess I should do a speech. I really don't have anything prepared here. This is such a surprise. I want to thank my esteemed colleagues, Eddie, Malcolm, Richard Gere. A lot of people think the most important thing about being a guest is being interesting. But they're wrong. It's about being honest and telling the truth, something that our current guest in the White House knows nothing about. Yes, Donald has been a guest on many podcasts, Theo Vaughn, Joe Rogan, Kill Tony, but all he does is lie. I've got some truth for you, though, Donald. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore. There is absolutely no evidence to support that statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world only in 3 categories: number of incarcerated adults per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. We sure used to be right, though. We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We passed and struck down laws for moral reasons. We waged wars on poverty, not poor people. We sacrificed. We cared about our neighbors. We put our money where our mouths were, and we never beat our chest. We built great things, made ungodly technological advances, explored the universe, cured diseases, and cultivated the world's greatest artists and the world's greatest economy. We reached for the stars. And we acted like men. We aspired to intelligence. We didn't belittle it. It didn't make us feel inferior. We didn't identify ourselves by who we voted for in the last election. And we didn't scare so easy. And we were able to be all those things and do all these things because we were informed by great men who were revered. The first step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore. And look. I know you're playing me off. I can hear you. But it's our responsibility and the responsibility of the free press to take Donald Trump to task. We deserve better. America deserves better. Free the hostages, and Israel has a right to defend itself. Thank you for your time.
You had me until free the hostages.
I learned a lot about America in that speech. There's a lot I kind of didn't know, like statistics wise.
All right, can the PA guy back? Can you pipe down the Dr. T theme music? The bass is just so loud.
The Oscars need to give you an award, JT, because if you did that speech on the real award show, everyone would be going, like, the whole crowd would, like, erupt. Like, they'd be tearing their shirts off.
Yeah, that was like Streep at the, was it the Golden Globes, like the year she went at Trump and, like, football watchers and stuff like that. That was like,
I took a lot of inspiration from her, certainly. But whatever you do, do not watch the pilot episode of Newsroom, because a lot of it might be lifted from that. A lot of it might be lifted from that monologue.
I knew it was too good to be true. I knew that dialogue was just too perfect.
Well, that was
a great reading.
Yeah,
of it. And you know what? I'm not gonna let him take credit. That was JT's original speech off the dome.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
wow.
You ever heard of sampling? Come on.
I'm wowed. I'm just I
should we just end it here? Like,
I'm at a loss for words.
Like this is you should have saved that for the end.
We'll be right back on Extended Clip.
I was literally watching the Meryl Streep speech on my break at work today to get inspiration, and then I remembered the Newsroom monologue that went around on Facebook a lot, and I was like, oh, I'll just put exactly that in the middle of the speech.
You need to. That's a clip. You need to save the video on that JT's speech.
I think it runs longer than social media clips allow it to do that. I'll have to like do it full of jump cuts and stuff, like all those awful podcast videos you see. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, put some hype music underneath.
Yeah, just get hype aura moments of the speech.
Put that in the AI podcast clip editor. See what it comes out with. Yeah.
This episode of Extended Clip is brought to you by Extended Clip. Join us on Patreon and get an extra episode of the show every week for $5 a month, so that I can afford a real microphone.
And we're back talking Golden Geres. We have one more custom award to give.
And it's yours.
Speaking of guests, be my guest, I said to myself. The final award of the night for me is the Golden Fedora. Ooh. For admirable stubbornness and stick-to-itiveness. The nominees are the namesake of the nominee, Billy Wilder's fedora, for going against the grain of these bearded hippies in the 70s making movies and showing them how it's really done and facing death all along the way. Howard Hawks' Man's Favorite Sport for making a geriatric version of the high-pitched screwballs he did multiple decades earlier. Jerry Lewis's Smorgasbord.
Absolutely.
For making a slapstick comedy about wanting to kill yourself that goes against every single notion of what popular comedy was in the mid-'80s. Or early 80s, I guess. Clint Eastwood's Juror Number 2. Because if there's a fedora director out there right now, it's Clint Eastwood. He's the only one wearing it left, you know. I also have to mention Otto Preminger's Skidoo, something that has been nominated many times tonight, and is a movie that has really like buried itself into my brain. It's funny because we did that series about like New Hollywood and like doing the old school directors that were still around in New Hollywood. And it was because of Fedora. We watched Fedora, and I was like, we need to do a whole series of Fedoras.
We need more.
Yeah, and Skidoo was like such a good Fedora. Like that's like one of the best Fedoras there is. But the ultimate Golden Fedora, much like JT's Best Politics Award, does not go to a movie.
Oh.
It goes to one man. And it goes to a man that already got an award tonight. It goes to Richard Farnsworth in The Straight Story.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
His stubbornness and stick-to-itiveness exceeds that of even Billy Wilder making Fedora, which is really saying something. That dedication to that journey for that grand gesture of brotherhood and familial love toward Harry Dean Stanton. I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I'll tear up. It's the most it's the positive side of the Fedora, you know?
Yeah.
Because the Fedora represents bitterness, but it also represents stick-to-itiveness and doing things your own way. And that's what Richard Farnsworth and The Straight Story is all about.
Did you ride that thing all the way out here to see me?
I did, Lyle.
Yeah, kind of like My Way, Frank Sinatra. He wore a fedora.
He did it his way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now his son's roaming around doing all this journalism.
Oh yeah, I was like Frank Sinatra Jr. I didn't know he picked up the mighty pen.
Now, we must give the award for the best song. Now, this is a funny thing because I haven't really decided how I'm gonna
how we
actually pick this.
We got like 9 nominations. We got like 10.
I thought we were each doing an individual best song.
That's true.
That's what I had
guess
thought.
we should do that. So we've heard snippets of all of our best song nominations for tonight. We've heard from the Zombies, Blue Cheer, Clint Eastwood, Tommy Lee Wallace, Nickelback, Neil Young, Jack Black and Mike White, the dynamic duo if there ever was one, Shelley Duvall, Harry Nilsson. Did I say Nickelback already?
Yeah.
Duran Duran. Malcolm, of your picks, who is your winner?
Well, I wanted to give it to Nickelback at the end of Torque there. Like, if you look up that clip at the end of Torque, it's just like, it's one of the oldest videos uploaded to YouTube. It's like 18 years ago, and all the comments are like, I hate my life so much. I wish I could just be these guys at the end of Torque riding into the sunset into Nickelback. Like, wouldn't it be cool if life was like this? And also the movie Snatch. I wish there were more movies like this. And I agree on all points, but I have to go just because this was just, you got to do the heat check. What was the first one that came to mind?
Mm-hmm.
And it's Journey Through the Past, through Inherent Vice. If you've seen that movie and that moment doesn't stick with you, you might need to rewatch it.
Yeah.
So
another great needle drop in that movie, of course, Vitamin C by Can.
No, I mean that
close nomination there.
I have to admit, like when I saw the best song category, I immediately just thought of all the Inherent Vice needle drops.
And barely outside of the scope of nomination would have been the other Can drop in Deep End about a year and a half ago.
Oh, yeah.
That was not in the scope of nomination, though.
No. It's not why I did not choose it.
JT, who wins your best song?
Yeah, it's difficult. There are a lot of ones that I feel like I want to go with the pairing of how they fit into the movie. But on Best Song alone, and I love how it's used in the movie, is Fruit and Icebergs by Blue Cheer. It's just such an intense, like, cool, like, psychedelic song. I'm like a big sucker for that kind of shit. And I mean, that scene is amazing. It's like one of the most, like, insane things that Orson Welles directed. But honestly, it was very close between this and the Halloween TV commercial for me. Because the Happy Happy Halloween Silver Shamrock goes through, especially in October. That's just like all that's going on up here.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, like, I think the song from Other Side of the Wind is, like, maybe arguably better used because that scene is like a straight up pornographic music video. but I think that the Halloween 3 commercial song is a better song. I think it might be the best song ever written.
Now you're acting like the kids in the movie. You know, you've been real hypnotized by this track.
It's funny because I used to really hate it too, and now I'm just like, yeah, it's probably the best song ever. It's like
who made that?
What is it? She Loves You by the Beatles. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Throw some Neil Young in there. You know, Halloween 3. Happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
It's up there with Bach and Mozart and the likes of that.
Oh boy. My best song pick though, it has to be. It just has to be the title track over the end credits, sang by the director and star of the movie, Gran Torino.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's just one of my favorite things to ever happen in a movie is that coming in over the credits of the movie. Like, it's just, go listen to our episode on Gran Torino. It's one of my favorite movies of that era, and it's just wonderful and funny and ironic and beautiful and moving and odd.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we talk about our tourism, right? And then the next level is like, I'm going to direct and be the star of the movie. And then just the cherry on top, like really sending it home. It's like, I'm going to be singing the outro to this movie. I will be singing, giving you original songs. I mean, that's a total control of the text there.
I mean, it's just crazy too, because I don't think like Eastwood like has never really sang in any of his movies. There's one, he has an album that like was released, I think like when he was in the Rawhide like TV days. It's Rawhide's Clint Eastwood sings cowboy favorites, and that's him doing like a bunch of like cowboy country standards, and it's his voice work is only like slightly more competent than him as an old man in Gran Torino. It's not really good, but and again, which is why it's just like, it's weird that exists, and also strange that he's like, okay, well, we're putting me on the track, give me a feature.
Well, this is when he's scoring a lot of his own movies too, I believe. So he's just like in the stew. You know? Like he's up in the stew at Warner Brothers. You know, there's weed smoke all over the place. He's like, what the fuck are you looking at?
Damn, Clint Eastwood in the studio just doing like Eminem, like turn my headphones up. Turn my headphones up.
Yeah. Someone's like doing ad libs on a rap song in the next booth next to him, and he just turns and gives the Gran Torino scowl. Before we get to Best Picture, there's a couple things to go over. Firstly, this is where you come in, the listeners. The listener vote for the best and worst pictures covered on the podcast were conducted over the last month and a half or so. The winner of Worst Picture is
Ernest Scared Stupid, with runners-up of You've Got Mail, Aloha, Honora, and MASH. Now, a friend of the pod, Brian, once said that Honora should have been called Anoia. Make of that what you will.
And the winner of Best Picture is
Inherent Vice, with the runners-up of The Heartbreak Kid, Celine and Julie Go Boating, A Man Escaped, and The Insider.
Well, our fans fucking suck. Those were terrible choices on both accounts. Fuck you.
Yeah, you guys fucked up big time, and I kind of don't think you guys really get the podcast and what we're trying to do here. If those were to be your choices for best and worst, you might need to reevaluate your relationship with us.
Yeah, are you sure you don't want to flip those?
The other thing I wanted to mention was, you know, a lot of times there's like a lifetime achievement type award, you know, where there's not nominations. It's just like, because it would be wrong to do that. And I realized that last time we did this show, one of the awards we gave should have been in that honor. You know, like it was wrong to even nominate other people and like make it a competitive thing. So we are bringing back an award that last time was given to the namesake of this whole endeavor, the Man About Town Award, for embodying the character type that we've discussed over the last 5 years or more on this podcast. The Man About Town, one of our favorite guys, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone knows him. He's glad handing everyone, saying hello, big smile. Everyone recognizes his car or his horse if it's a Western, you know. He's helping people out, and people are there for him because of that. He represents the location, the milieu of the movie. There are no nominations, as I said, and only one can follow in the footsteps of the man who these awards are named after. So, the 2025 Golden Gear for The Man About Town once again goes to Richard Gere as Dr. T in Dr. T and the Women.
Dr. T loves women. He truly loves women.
Beautiful.
Amazing. I just had to pause because there's just roarious applause. Everyone's standing up and, you know, clapping to their heart's desire.
I see Jackie Chan crying.
If you know Richard Gere, maybe you know, I know, like, maybe of course he's here, but also if you know Richard Gere personally, maybe you could tell him about the Golden Geres and tell him that he just won a Lifetime Achievement Award, a big honor.
For being the Man About Town once again. Every 5 years, this award goes out to the true Man About Town in cinema, and once again, it is Dr. T.
We haven't found a replacement.
And now, Best Picture. Malcolm, who are your nominations for Best Picture?
I had 4 nominations, I believe.
I said who. I should have said what.
Yeah, who?
Well, I guess if you're talking true auteurism, it is who.
Okay, I guess, damn. Yeah, that is true, I guess.
Who is getting the award? It's a director.
But I do adhere to the laws of grammar and English. So
that's debatable if you've listened to this podcast, but I'll let you proceed.
Grammar, I couldn't think of grammar and punctuation. That's the word I was looking for.
Well, hey, who knows about your punctuation? I'm not reading you, so yeah.
You're not reading me? All right. My choices, I don't even have any jokes for these. I'm just going to list them off.
This is where it gets real.
This is some real deal shit, all right? Enough of the laughter.
The Golden Gear for Best Picture, according to Malcolm.
And I'm announcing my choice.
Your nominations.
My nominations.
Sorry.
Okay.
I phrased it wrong now.
It's all good.
Now, the Golden Gear for Best Picture. Malcolm, your nominations.
My nominations are Mir by Mr. Tarkovsky, Pierre Le Fou by Mr. Godard, Inherent Vice by Mr. Thomas Anderson, and Carrie by Mr. De Palma.
Wow. You know, more than one shared nomination there, so I don't even want to tip my hand, but let's just say those are all masterpieces.
Yeah.
I mean, what else can I say?
Heavy hitters.
Those are fucking heavy hitters. And also, if I don't mind myself saying, pretty great episodes.
Yeah, I think maybe that's what's causing me to choose them too, just the discussion that entailed.
JT, any thoughts on Malcolm's picks?
Yeah, no, it's like looking through like the list of everything we've done in the last year. It's we've had some masterpieces on here that have made it really difficult. Again, there's a lot of crossover, so I don't want to say, but I don't know. I'm fucking with Mir. Mir is amazing. I would say that of the selections presented.
Malcolm.
Yeah.
Your Best Picture.
Well, JT, you sniffed me out. You caught me. You caught me red-handed.
Yes.
It is Mir, and you know, I feel like it's, you know, just going through Tarkovsky's filmography, most of it that we covered on the podcast, you know, you just really get a deep understanding for the director's work, and I was pretty new to it, so just kind of some of these other movies I know I've loved for a long time, you know, and we've come back and revisited them on the podcast, but this was just so new to me, this Mir movie, and it just, I don't know, I can't stop thinking about it. And it was either that or Rublev. I had a hard time deciding. I didn't want to double down. I kind of wanted to, you know, keep it very award show like, you know.
But I'm glad to hear that the Tarkovsky series was so rewarding to you, because I was a little iffy on programming. I was excited for myself, but I was like, are the listeners going to respond to it? And is Malcolm going to like Tarkovsky? Who knows?
Yeah.
Because you had never seen any, I think, right?
Yeah. No, I just hadn't. And
then we ran through all the USSR films he made, only leaving the 2 he made in Europe for later discovery.
And I watched one of those.
Yeah,
even.
that's true.
So,
So this has been your year of Tarkovsky.
Exactly. So, maybe it's kind of hard to compete when it's his movies are just on my mind. I think I'm even gonna crack open that book he wrote about his process too. I'm really getting into it. So yeah, that's one of the big discoveries this year was just Tarkovsky in general. So I had to leave his mark on the Golden Geres.
You have to leave his stain. JT, who left the biggest stain on you over the last year? What are your nominations?
Well, I would say Tarkovsky left the biggest stain. As you'll see here in my nominations, he pops up twice for Best Picture. But the nominees are Inherent Vice, Mirror, The Straight Story, The Heartbreak Kid, Crimes and Misdemeanors, and Andrei Rublev.
Wow. I am so happy that Crimes and Misdemeanors got a nomination. It was just outside of my field of nominations. I wanted to go like Hollywood in the early 2010s or whatever, where they had like 10, or no, even now they have like 10 nominations, right? Or
True.
did they cut it back a little bit?
They might have reduced it a little bit, but
I don't know.
who's to say?
Regardless, I mean, those are all masterpieces. I'm, again, not going to tip my hand because, JT, we had quite a bit of overlap.
Yeah, there's heavy overlap on all of it, but that is, we're a collective.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. We're
You've
not
already given
individuals.
your Best Picture, though.
Sure.
Oh, so I guess it appeared on his, so.
Yeah. I mean, that's, the transitive property. Ever heard of it, Eddie?
Other than the 2 Tarkovskys, any standout picks?
I kind of wish I put The Heartbreak Kid on my list, too,
Yeah.
just because that is a perfect movie to me. So I'm going to go with that one.
JT?
My winner is Andrei Rublev.
Oh,
nice.
Like, this was a in the moment choice. Like, I made the list like earlier, and I was just like ruminating on it, and it was coming down to the wire with the Tarkovskys for me. But Andrei Rublev, like, while I would say on some days I prefer how like experimental Mirror is. Just Andrei Rublev is like one of the most beautiful and like impactful films I've ever seen. Like, and it's hard to express the full like extent of enjoyment and understanding you can get with just sort of general platitudes on a movie. But yeah, I don't know. I think Andrei Rublev is so rich in terms of talking about the process of creating art and I guess sort of the human desire as to why you want to make things. And going through the Tarkovsky series as a whole, there are some directors like him that are just so tapped into like a sense of spirituality that I don't think you need to be religious to even understand. It's like this interconnectedness to the world that is very profound. And Andrei Rublev, I don't know. I think I'm rewatching it this weekend. I'm gonna show my girlfriend it, and just because it's been on my mind for so long since we watched it. So amazing movie.
Amazing choice.
Tarkovsky, is he going to do a triple crown here? Is he about to get a triple sweep here at the Golden Geres?
I mean, the triple crown, who's the last person to do that? Carl Yastrzemski?
I think it was Dr. T on the last Golden Geres made it.
Wait,
yeah.
did someone do it in baseball recently? Didn't like Giancarlo Stanton or someone like that do it? No, he wouldn't have gotten stolen bases though. It's not stolen bases. It's fucking
home run, RBI, batting average,
which is pretty outmoded now because no one really cares about batting average anymore, right?
Is that true? I care about batting average.
Fucking OPS now?
I guess so, but I like batting average.
Yeah, batting average I feels like more like means more to me.
What is? Can you explain OPS to me right now?
No, I cannot. No, I cannot. No, I know it's like a on base plus slugging.
Okay, and what's slugging?
No, I cannot.
Any listener who wants to explain OPS to me, please do it.
I don't care enough.
Don't leave Eddie out of it. This will just be me, maybe JT.
Yeah,
he hasn't
I'm
commented
curious.
on whether. So
Or you
contact
can email
me.
it. No, email it.
No,
Email
just
it.
contact me
no,
and
no,
JT
no,
privately.
No. We haven't read an
We can
email in like 3 episodes. Extendedclippodcast@gmail.com.
This will be private. This will be just between us. We don't need to make it public. It'll
Look,
just
you don't
be-
know Malcolm's email. You know the podcast email though.
If you contact me privately, I'll give you my email, and you could email. All right, but let's get back to the award show. I'm sorry.
My nominations for Best Picture are. Am I doing these in? Yeah, okay. I'm doing these in chronological order. Robert Bresson's A Man Escaped. Jean-Luc Godard's Pierrot Le Fou. Andrei Tarkovsky's Andrei Rublev. Elaine May's The Heartbreak Kid. David Lynch's The Straight Story. And Paul Thomas Anderson's Inherent Vice. Any thoughts?
Damn, we are really similar. Like
Yeah.
almost. And I mean, I saw your list when you sent it in the chat a while ago, but it's hard not to have that kind of overlap. Again, there are like quite a few films we covered in the last year that are just undeniable masterpieces.
Yeah. No, it's really like I've actually been weighing this too much.
Yeah.
Like
Have you even made a final? Are you still juggling it in your brain right now?
No, I'm pretty confident, but like not 100%, but like I'm like 90% confident. And
So with Pierre Le Fou, did Godard die within this past year frame?
no, it's like 4 years ago now.
He did? Oh yeah, I forgot.
Maybe 3.
That's true.
It was a while ago.
It was a little bit of a while ago. Yeah. All right.
Like, 'cause
Scratch that. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was going to say because with Lynch, good.
Yeah.
But hey, but since we've done the last Golden Geres,
So many
That's
people
true.
have died.
so many people.
So
have died.
many people have
Endless
died
death
since then.
and destruction.
I will tell you this.
Please.
It's between 2 nominees. And surprisingly, neither of them are directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, which is crazy because we've done multiple PTA movies on the pod this year, doing a couple more next month. Maybe one of those will be on a future Golden Gear. But it's between fucking Bresson and Tarkovsky. I can't do it.
You can't do it. You can't make it.
I'm honestly having a really hard time deciding. And I think, do you remember that picture of Bresson and Tarkovsky at Cannes together?
Yeah.
I think I'm doing that.
Wow.
I think I'm bringing both of them up here.
Okay.
And allowing each of them to offer the award to one another.
Okay. I like that.
Because I think Andrei Rublev and A Man Escaped, much like Dr. T with the Man About Town award, it almost feels unfair to compare these things.
I mean, those are very two different approaches to
I know, but
movie
like
making.
you could also just say that's a cop out because you could say that about any 2 movies almost.
True. True. This is consider your responsibility as an award show host.
Yeah.
People want winners.
More than anything, I want to give this to Robert Bresson, but I also want Tarkovsky to have a Mickey Mouse Triple Crown.
Damn.
I'm going to give it to A Man Escaped by Robert Bresson. That is the best picture. Andrei Tarkovsky, you come up just a tiny bit short of the Triple Crown. Better luck next year.
Yeah, maybe come up with something new. Maybe we'll get a
that's what it was. I was watching a fucking Instagram reel about who was that dude, Dodgers and then Miami, who almost he won a batting average title to take away a Triple Crown from like Aaron Judge or someone like that. Was it like D. Gordon?
I couldn't tell you.
It was in Instagram reels where he was like on a baseball podcast talking about it. He was like, the MLB tried to get me to throw a game, like to let Judge win the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
Which, believe what you will about that, but baseball heads out there will patch that together if they will, and the people who don't care about baseball are already like this pod's over, right?
Yeah, when you started saying that, I thought maybe you saw a clip of like Tarkovsky on Instagram Reels with like an interview clip with like the epic music in the background. And to be honest, that's something I could see possibly happening. He does have some cachet amongst influencers.
Miguel Cabrera did do it in 2012. That was like the last time before Carl Yastrzemski, I think.
Yaz, as I call him.
Yaz, as I like to call him. And then I'm just going to fact check this on Mike. Sorry.
This would be a great awards show if it just ended with baseball.
Yeah, baseball
statistics lookup. Wait, who won? Who had the
yes,
batting
it was
average?
D. Gordon. Okay, I'm just making sure. Okay.
In 2021, who won the batting average race?
So, Andrei Tarkovsky, I'm sorry that Robert Bresson has played a D. Gordon-esque spoiler to your potential triple crown at the Golden Geres this year. I'm sure you really care in your grave. And, listeners, thank you for putting up with the Golden Geres. And it's been an honor to bring it to you once again. And what do you guys think? Same time next year?
Yeah, let's make this, and we could do by next year. We could mean next year. We could do it in the next 5 years. We
maybe next week.
Maybe next week. Our definition of annual is more, what we want it to be.
I kind of like it as an annual thing, like
No,
I would love
52
to do
weeks.
it.
I mean, for real, yeah, we
annually,
could do. Yeah, in all seriousness,
All
yeah.
right, next year, April 26th. You guys got like
August? You mean August 26th?
I can only read the A on my laptop, and I'm not thinking about what month it is.
It's summertime, man.
I know.
Or it's almost
Well, it's
over.
hot in LA in April too, but like this is pure vision check moment. I can see the A, but I can't see the UG. I know now. I realize that it's a UG.
Yeah.
Well,
a little another snippet of Blind Eddie. Yeah, the through line, the ongoing story.
Donate to the Patreon
there.
so I can afford healthcare and get some fucking glasses.
Well, also, it's like I didn't need to read anything to know whether it was April or August.
All right, look who's present in the moment and not nose in a book, knee deep in studies.
So I don't study enough. That's why I know the difference between the months, huh? This is how the award show ends, on a real bitter note.
Join us on the Patreon for an extra episode every single week. We're talking about some Todd Solondz on the Patreon this month. We're talking about some Paul Thomas Anderson on the Patreon this month. It's good. It's good for you.
It's good for you.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.